Hi, lovelies. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Guys, Happy New Year. How the fuck is everybody doing? Also, too, guys, forgive this new look here. I'm trying out a new ring light. My hubby was good to me, guys, this Christmas. I got a new ring light. I got this badass fucking t-shirt that just says, just a girl who loves Bigfoot. And for those of you that are shocked that I have a husband, yes, I do. He is a gentle creature that deserves all the love, all the support, all the joy in the world because this man puts up with my BS. Right? Also, too, he knows that my heart is with Sasquatch. My heart is with Bigfoot. He gets it. He understands. He just does. So I'm #blessed. This Christmas was spectacular. I hope that you guys had a beautiful holiday season. I hope the new year's been good to you guys. And if it hasn't, well, hold on to your titties, okay? Remember too, you guys. Okay. Before I get into any of that, you guys, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Sarah Martucci. I'm a psychic medium, certified crystal healer, paranormal investigator, Sasquatch enthusiast, all around fucking witchy weirdo. My other nicknames are the Duchess of Donuts as well as the Cuss Mouth Angel. You guys, if you've never been here before, this is the free weekly where I pull 3 piles of cards. You choose any and all that you're drawn towards. But first, I speak on something that I lovingly refer to as astrofuckery. So let's get into it. So you guys, this week I actually wanted to make it super quick. Usually I talk about 3 things, but I'm going to try to talk about 2 and make it chill. It's probably going to be like 5. Bear with me. With that being said, essentially, guys, if you're finding that right now has been difficult for you, or you're finding like it's hard to move forward, or things have just been really nostalgic, it's not just the season. We're in the middle of 2 retrogrades right now. We've got Mars retrograde in the sign of Gemini, and we've also got Mercury retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. And guys, like, Mars already being retrograde, Mars being retrograde in the sign of Gemini. Mercury is the planet that rules that. So it's almost like we got a double retrograde. Does that make it go forward? How the fuck does that work? Don't 2 negatives equal a positive? That would be nice. So again, if you're feeling like things are super nostalgic, I can't seem to get myself out of the past, be in reflective mode. That's where you're supposed to be right now, especially with all the astrofuckery that's going on at the moment. So tune in to what the fuck it's offering you right now. And maybe you've been like, why can't I get over this thing? Or why does this thing keep popping up in my head? Sit down and face it. What the fuck is it coming back up for? And what is it trying to inform you, show you the way, talk to you, hold up a mirror around? Don't be afraid to look at this. And guys, with Mercury being retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, this is around our structures. And so maybe something here wasn't built well before. Maybe something here, maybe the routine that we had wasn't working. And so, like, when we get out of our routine, our mind starts to wander. And with Mars being, retrograde in the sign of Gemini, like, people have been having some fighting fucking words. All right. People have been a little more angry and I think a little more touchy. I think too, with this double retrograde right now, things have been difficult. And so old stuff from the past has been coming up, maybe making people like angry and upset. Why am I going over this again? I just want to beg you guys, know that you're in the right spaces, doing the right things right now, especially if you feel like you keep returning to the past. There's this huge theme around nostalgia, or we can't stop thinking about like past things that have occurred here. It's trying to guide you towards something. It's trying to show you something here. What the fuck is the mirror being held up to you right now? What is it saying? What can you do to help yourself? Maybe this is a great time to go get a therapist and go talk to somebody. And you guys know I would not recommend shit without doing it myself. So if you guys don't think that I'm already in therapy, well, then you haven't been here long enough and you really don't know how truly weird I am. Okay. There's that. But also, too, it's just a beautiful... For me, it's been a beautiful tool of self-empowerment, healing, and getting back on my feet so that I can show up here with you guys and also bring all that healing and that work that I'm doing to the work that I'm doing with you. That also makes me trauma-informed, right? So don't be afraid of the work that's maybe presenting itself to you right now. Say yes to it. Say yes to yourself. Okay, the major thing this week, is, guys, we got a full moon in the sign of Cancer on the 6th, 7th, depending on where you live, and yeah, depending on where you live. So, with somebody whose natal moon is in Cancer, I'm gonna tell you all right now, if you guys aren't already feeling the feelings, are you even really alive right now, or have you just been disassociating the entire fucking time? Okay. So there's something here with this, where also, too, Cancer is the sign of home and family and mother. So don't be surprised right now if, like, Along with that nostalgia, stuff around family and home, our connections, childhood, our friends from home, our siblings, our parents, our mother are coming up as well right now. Maybe there's something here for healing with this full moon. Something's coming to a full culmination. Also, too, knowing where the fuck Cancer is in your chart is going to help you see what themes around mother, home, healing roots are coming up here for a look at again. Essentially, too. So I want to say with this full moon here being in smack dab in the middle of retrograde season, again, there's a callback to our childhood and we're looking at these themes. Don't have your mind blown if that's what the fuck's happening. So just know too, guys, like this isn't anything crazy going on. I think as the collective, we're all kind of going through this. I think also too, there's something to be said around this full moon of like mothering maybe yourself in a way, like if you didn't get the care that you needed from your caretakers growing up. Maybe looking at who was it? Chani Nicholas, I think she said something here around like your attachment style. So knowing what your attachment style is going into this full moon will also help you kind of like take a look at yourself. And also it goes back to roots around like your family and home, what the fuck you grew up in. So if you got like a nervous attachment style, maybe we've got some abandonment issues here. If we've got some like, maybe one of the other rough ones, the ones where we're not able to attach well, again, it feels like maybe you had to carry everything on your fucking own. And so now thinking about attaching with other people or being close to others makes your skin crawl and you run away because it's like depending upon anybody just seems like the most terrifying thing in the world to do. So sit down at this full moon, know what your attachment style is. Go back to your childhood and figure out excuse me, what was my connection with my caregivers, if there was any? And what was that attachment style like? Was this positive? Was this negative? Was it neglectful? Was it like the hover parent? Like what the fuck happened here that left me with the ways that I connect with other people? I can no longer be unconscious around this. Do you see what I'm saying, guys? So look at the ways that we attach and we connect to others, especially if we have issues around codependency, neediness coming up. Look, there's nothing wrong with being needy or having needs. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's when we get to the point where we're ignoring it and it gets so bad that it gets so loud, or maybe it gets to the point where it gets so loud that we put it on other people instead of, I really think at this full moon and what it's saying is like returning back home to ourselves. And so in what ways do we escape from ourselves? Do we leave home, abandon ourselves? In what way should we be coming home, or how can we come more home to ourselves? I think knowing our attachment style, going back to our childhood, looking at our roots and what the fuck happened here is going to give us most of the information we need in order to move the fuck forward. And so what healing do we still need to do? How do we tune into that? And then because guys, the more that we understand ourselves and know ourselves, the more that we're able to connect with others and be understanding of others and empathetic towards others. So if you're not tuned into your own story, and especially with Jupiter being in Aries this year, we'll get more into that in other ones, like you got to know your personal story. If you don't, anyone y'all can come along and tell you what the fuck that is. Hail to the nah from this Aries. Like, that's not how this works here. I get to create my own story. I am the main character in my fucking story. And so if I want better connections with other people, how am I connecting with myself? Am I taking care of me? Or am I just reenacting the shit from my childhood? Some things to think about. So look, should your mission, should you choose to accept it, whoever the fuck I'm talking to, tune in at this full moon. Take care of yourself in the ways that you need right now. Mother yourself in ways that you need right now. Be a family for yourself in the ways that you fucking need right now. And whenever you get right and good here, go back out there and take care of your family, take care of your people. And maybe also to reconnect with those that you consider your family, your home, your chosen people. All right, you guys, if you guys have had enough of the astrofuckery, I sure the fuck have. And guys, there's plenty of other stuff going on this week. This is just the stuff that I thought you would find most interesting. So let me know if you guys want to talk about other stuff, if you dig this. All right. If you guys are into it, move with me into the next screen. I'm going to show 3 piles of cards. You choose any and all that you're drawn towards. Try not to be too jealous of my shirt. And it's in purple, my favorite color. I love you, Chris. I love my husband so fucking much. It's fucking best. All right, you guys, follow me into the next screen. Choose any and all cards or piles that resonate with you, and I'll go interpret them. All right, guys, see you in a sec. All right, and if you guys got card pile number 1, here's your interesting cards. Let's get into it. All right, you got the 3 of Wands. Your next card is the Queen of Coins. And your final card here is the Eight of Coins. Let's fucking speak on it. I actually really like this combo, you guys. It's kind of making my booty tingle. All right, let's let's talk about it. So listen, with the Three of Wands showing up here, this is like foresight. This is grand foresight. This is, to me, this card always represents, or there's always a feeling of it that like I'm putting on a play here, or I'm about to get married and like have to put together a wedding, or like party planning, like whatever it is here, we're about to undertake something huge. We need the resources, we need the people, we need the time, the money, the farts. To make this thing fucking work, okay? So I want to see with the Three of Wands here, like it's boot scooting time. Who the fuck do we need to call upon now? Who do we need to? We already came up with the ideas. We've got the ideas. We know what the fuck we're doing. Now we just like, who can we call upon? What do we need? What the phone calls we got to make, the actions that we got to take to get out there. I got to get in the car and drive and go get stuff. We got to gather our shit together. Where the fuck are our resources at? Now, coupled with the Queen of Coins and the Eight of Coins, the Queen of Coins is, remember, anytime the fucking Queen comes up, remember who the fuck you are this week. I also want to say, too, with the Queen of Coins, like, she's very earthy, practical, grounded. This is one of the entrepreneurial queens. Woo, can barely say it. She's also very prosperity minded, and prosperity is at the forefront of her fucking mind. She's also very family oriented. Listen, she could be a little boring, but like we still got to take care of everyday things. All right. I just want to say though, like she's very focused on the future, taking care of her family and home, investing, setting things up, putting money into the future so that everybody's taken care of. Coupled with the Eight of Coins, this is like productivity, this is craftsmanship, this is steady employment. So guys, looking at all three of these cards, maybe here this week, maybe there's an important female here that maybe you're the important female. Maybe you're starting your own business and you realize what the fuck is going into this now. Enough people have seen your craftsmanship and your work. You're about to move to the next level here. Fucking congratulations. I see you. Please keep kicking ass and continue to trust in yourself and the work that you bring to the table. People want this, my friend. Keep fucking right, titty shake to the bank, and I fucking mean that. Now, if this is around like love and relationships, there might be an important female this week where maybe we're building a dream with this person. Maybe we're literally building a family, or like maybe literally building a home with her, okay? So if it's you and this is around a love relationship, this is saying to you this week around the love relationship, like maybe sit down and really look at this thing. Make sure that you guys are planning for the future and you guys have a goal that you're literally working towards. And so what do we need right now in order to make this thing happen? That's around like love relationships and around family and home. Straight up, okay? For around career and business. Y'all heard me. This is the entrepreneur queen. So I don't care if you're a male or female watching this. Maybe we're starting our own business. Maybe we're becoming like a contractor in some way, shape, or form. Look, either way here, like we need to get a hold of our schedule and we need to take over the finances. So maybe sitting down and looking at our work this week, and especially around the work career situation. How am I looking at my finances? How am I like investing that in the right places? How am I taking like the money that I'm making here and investing it in my fucking future? And also maybe even like my family. Look, can I say also too with this card combination, if you are not investing in yourself, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because you bring such craftsmanship, you bring such beautiful things to the table here. What are you doing not working for yourself? Or like taking, if you want to sell it, if you want to turn this into something lucrative, what are you doing just sitting on this thing? And so this week is asking you, boot scoot, who the fuck do we got to talk with? Who do you want to work with? Who do you want a partnership with? With the Three of Wands here, maybe there's two other people that need to come on the team. Or maybe we're looking at hiring with the Queen of Coins here, maybe a real estate person to help us find a home. Maybe a banker here to invest the money with, and it's a female. Maybe it's an interior designer to get our house right and put together. Maybe this is even a contractor that we're working with this week in order to get the shit done around the home and the house. So guys, whatever way this kind of like lands this week, this is a beautiful card around like the work that you're putting out there and productivity. And also too, if you've been looking for a job, whoever the fuck got card pile number 1, put your motherfucking resume out there. And also to be open to part-time positions and or contracting positions, or maybe even the ability to work at home and set your own time and hours. Fucking right. And actually allows you to be more productive and maybe even be able to work on your side project or side hobby or like some entrepreneurial thing that we've been working on in the background. So don't be afraid of the part-time work, the work at home, that kind of stuff. Guys, so this is around health. I'm gonna try to start adding these in here. This is around health. This would say to me that it's time to start exercising and eating right. I know. Go tell me to go fuck myself. Right? How dare I? But I want to say with the Queen of Coins and the Eight of Coins, guys, this is like food on the table, money in the bank, roof over my head, clothes on my back. This has got to be something tangible. And so with our health here this week, maybe there's a call here to eat better. Maybe we've got pre-diabetes or something and you're right on the brink of it. We don't fucking want diabetes. Listen to me. One of my siblings growing up had juvenile diabetes. You don't want diabetes, especially if you can avoid it. If you don't have to have diabetes, let me assure you, it is not a disease that you fucking want. Take care of yourself. Get yourself out of that space. Also, too, I want to say, like, not only is this eating right, but this is like exercising, taking care of your literal physical form. So in what ways are we taking care of ourselves? Are we eating better? Are we taking action around our health and really starting to produce some real fucking results here? Also, too, this is saying to you, the more work you put into your body, the more people are going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? You look amazing. Maybe even, too, weirdly enough, there might be a weird call to, like, bodybuild this week or to start lifting weights. Question mark. So you guys, look, whoever the fuck got card pile number 1, congrats. Now is no matter what the fuck this is for, now is your time to start gathering your resources, know who the fuck you're working with, get everything together so we can get this rig fucking rolling. This is the time for you to trust in yourself and trust in the future that you're trying to build for yourself as well here. This is, all these cards are ones of building. So what are we building here, especially towards that future? And what am I investing in here? And especially around your productivity, your craftsmanship, what you're putting out in the world for people to see, whether that be your own physical body, whether this is your family and home or an actual product that we're giving out to others. What the fuck are we putting out there for others to see? Or even around our relationships, how are we working on our relationships so that they are the best that they can be? We're really bringing all our crafts and our abilities, like arts and crafts. I didn't mean it like that, but like we're bringing like our ability here and our craftsmanship, the things that we've learned along the way to make this relationship just fucking right. So whatever the fuck happens this week, remember, you got this. Be practical, be practical, grounded, and logical. You are doing nothing for me, Mercury retrograde. Nothing at all. I hate you. Make it stop. I already have, guys, if you didn't know, I actually have a speech impediment. I have a stutter. And so I try the hardest that I can to not do that when I do the free weeklies. But sometimes, especially when Mercury is in retrograde, like I can't help myself. So forgive. But there's something beautiful happening this week with card pile number 1. So the more work that we put in, the more realistic, grounded, mundane we are about the plain everyday things that we got to do actually helps us get us towards our goals. So worry about the magic later. Sit down and focus on what the fuck you got to do right here, right now, in order to get this thing going, get this rig rolling, to get your booty a-scootin', because you got some beautiful stuff laying ahead of you. And it's not pie in the sky bullshit. This is actual work that you've done. Well done, you guys. I'm really fucking proud of you. Keep kicking ass, card pile number 1. And just know, the more work that you put into this, and especially around the things that you love and what you're trying to craft here, the better the results are going to be. Look to see who the fuck you're working with. Where the fuck are your resources? You fucking got this. All right. And if you got card pile number 2, here's your beautiful cards. Your first one is the Page of Coins. Your second one is the Four of Swords. And then finally, you got a major arcana card talking about major change, major evolution, major movement forward. You got the World. Fucking right. All right, you guys. So I got to say, I like card pile number 2 as well. Listen, when the Page of Coins shows up here, this usually talks about a younger, traditionally the pages are females, but you guys know I'm not hard up on the gender within the court cards. Kings and queens, pretty self-explanatory. The knights are traditionally males, the pages are traditionally female, but not always. So I want to say here, and especially if you notice the Page of Coins, that looks kind of like a dude. I could be wrong, but it kind of, they got sideburns, all right? So, look, there's plenty of females that got sideburns too. I'm one of them. But listen. With the Page of Coins here, this is usually going to talk about a person your age or younger showing up at the scene. And a lot of times this is talking about our kids, especially if we have them. Or this can just talk about somebody that's younger, here to deliver a message. Usually that's what pages do. They deliver a message, and sometimes there's some level of education around this too. So maybe this week, I want to say with the Page of Coins, maybe one of our kids comes to us and they're talking about maybe what they want to do for themselves. Maybe they've sat down for a while with the Four of Swords and they've really been thinking about this. And not only have they made the decision, they feel really good about it and they're ready to fucking do this thing with the World showing up. Another interpretation of this card combination could be that you've been sitting down personally. This is the energy that you got to take on. You've been sitting down and you've been having quiet, reflective, shut the fuck up time. All right. And so like really taking this retrograde to heart and just being quiet and going introspective right now. And while you've been doing that with the Page of Coins here, like this, it's just like a discovery of wealth. Like all this beautiful stuff keeps coming up. Even if it's difficult, it's like unearthing these nuggets of gold or unearthing these understandings, but it's also something tangible that you can fucking work with the Page of Coins here. Maybe even something came up around like maybe what you want to do, where you feel drawn to be next. Maybe like going and taking a class, getting a certification, maybe becoming a teacher in some way, shape, or form yourself. And with the World here, like this is right. Like not only is this the right timing, but like this is the right everything. Okay. And I don't know if you noticed too with the World here, but she's got a book. She's reading a book. So maybe there's like a book that you should be writing. Maybe that's what we've been doing during this quiet time. Maybe this is just as simple as having a journal and writing down like, you know, our feelings or whatever the fuck's going on here. The World really asks us like something's coming to a full culmination. And the timing here is just like right on fucking point. Something beautiful is closing here and we're about to get a brand new chapter coming up in like the most beautiful of ways. And so the World's kind of like, what did we learn from all of this? What was the information that came to us? And so this book that she's reading is also, I believe, all the information that she's learned all this whole fucking time through. And so what am I no longer going to accept anymore? And what am I ready to start doing for myself? So also too, look, there's beginnings and endings with the World here, but it is fucking gorgeous. Also, this card talks about victory and success. So having this downtime, shutting the fuck up, tuning into yourself and listening here to around like your own goals. What are the messages that are coming up for you whenever we are quiet? Listen to those things, write them the fuck down. Let them be new goals for you in this year, or at least help kind of point you in the direction of where the fuck you want to be. Especially if you pick card pile number 2 and you've been wondering, what the fuck should I be doing with my life? Do you know what I'm saying? Well, here's your motherfucking sign. Shut the fuck up for a minute, tune into yourself and ask yourself, if time, money, bullshit constraint wasn't an issue, what the fuck would I be doing? And be honest with yourself. Can I say card pile number 2? Your vulnerability is your power here. The more that you're honest with yourself around what it is that you actually want, the more that you give yourself the opportunity to actually reach that and do the fucking thing. So don't be afraid of the education theme. Don't be afraid of going back and getting more school, maybe becoming a teacher yourself. Whatever messages are delivered here to you, it's coming from yourself. So trust that these messages coming through are like a clarion call towards where the fuck you got to go, what the fuck you got to do. And especially around closing of chapters, maybe tying up of loose ends here. Maybe there's something also too that you're being pushed to do, like finalize something so that you can move on to the next chapter. Shit. It could literally just be a book. This, if you pick card pile number 2 and you're like, hey, wish I had more time to read. Guess what? This is your week. This is your week. So everybody to fuck off. Grab your favorite book that you haven't had a chance to finish yet and fucking read it. And you find that this time replenishes you, makes you feel better than being on the internet. Like it just gives you back something that maybe you have forgotten about. It could be as simple as that, or it could be as intense as you are shifting your entire life at this point to go into something that really truly makes your heart happy. But you got to sit down and know what the fuck that is first. And if you don't have this quiet moment of reflection time, you're going to continue to be lost in the wilderness. Please don't fucking do that, okay? Sit down, listen to the messages that are bubbling up, especially around your safety and your security needs, around your goals, your hopes, your fucking dreams. What the fuck do you want to do? You got this. And I don't care if you're 70 years old watching this or if you're ripe old age of 21. If you're sitting down and you're listening to this, I don't care what age you are. You can start over at any fucking time. You can start something brand new at any fucking time. You get to reinvent and be yourself at any fucking time. Do you fucking hear me? So don't at me, okay? Don't at me and be like, but I'm too old, or I got too much shit going on, or I don't have the money. Like, where there is a will, there is a fucking way. There are grants, there are loans out there. Fucking doing only page shit. What the fuck is it called? OnlyFans. Doing OnlyFans. And do that shit until you have the money for it. Guys, I've thought about it, but it would just be me on there eating cheese and donuts. I still feel like people would pay to see that, which is weird, but look, the side note is, the side note is, and also too, please don't copy my business model. Thank you. Okay. Okay, it's mine. Thanks. So, card pile number 2. Sit down, focus on what the fuck you want. Be honest and real with yourself. Don't be surprised this week if it's maybe one of your kids here that's coming up and saying they know what they want to do, but probably going to need more education. I've discovered that like I've got a gift here and I'm ready to do something with it. Or at the very least, this is about you sitting down this week, shutting the fuck up for a second and letting the messages from who you are deep inside, maybe your inner child, maybe from that cheeseburger you ate yesterday, maybe wherever the fuck the messages are coming from, they're fucking real, they're true, they're on point, and they're pointing you in the direction of your victory, your success, your happiness. If you decide to not move towards that, that is a conscious choice, and you are choosing to stay stuck, you are choosing to stay where you are right now, or you're choosing to be unhappy. So, fuck that noise. Give yourself a chance. Say yes to yourself. And look, whatever you do here, just take practical, guided, realistic steps. You're going to reach your goals. Your success is inevitable. It's just a matter of the path that you take to get there. So have a quiet moment, reflect, listen to yourself around what it is that you truly want, start taking action towards it, because you got this. Also, I want to say too, I probably should have said this in the last one, but I'm looking at April with the 4 of Swords here, and then the world stands for the number 21, so maybe around like April 21st, these themes are coming up, but also the world breaks down to the number 3 because 2 + 1 = 3. So I'm looking at March and April to be rather interesting around these themes coming up for you, okay? So pay attention to those months. And look, sitting down and doing the work before we get there will actually fucking help you so we don't come to a fucking crisis moment. So if we sit down and do the work now, come March and April, when this energy is asking us to sit down and kind of face this stuff, you're like, oh yeah, I fucking got this. I know exactly what I want to do. And you're able to fucking skip lines 10 through 12 and move on to happily motherfucking after. Also, weird side note around writing a book. There's a book inside of you. And or keeping a journal. You fucking got this. I believe in you. All right. Let me know if that resonated. And finally, if you guys got card pile number 3, here's your beautiful cards. Your first one is the Page of Wands. Second card is the 3 of Coins. And then finally, you got the 8 of Swords. Let's fucking talk about it. So, I actually like card pile number 3 too. Usually there's one pile where I'm like, fuck this pile. But this week I actually like all 3. So you guys, with this card combination, long story short, I kind of feel like this one, like with the pages again, there's a message here that's delivered this week. Usually with the Pages of Wands, this is like around our ambitions, our hard work. Usually somebody's saying like, well done, I see what you're doing kind of thing. But there's some kind of message here around, with the 3 of Coins, our partnerships, maybe possibly around business. And then with the 8 of Swords, the way that we're holding ourselves back from being in partnerships with others, maybe because of something fucked up that happened or some kind of conflict or powerlessness that we went through previously with something like this. So maybe this week there might be an opportunity that's showing up, but you're like, no thanks, because I've done this in the past and it never fucking works out. Or maybe an opportunity shows up this week and you just can't, nope, didn't even hear it because the thought of it just makes me want to vomit. Or maybe you don't even feel ready to go in a partnership with whatever the fuck shows up this week. Maybe this is around you and you still feel like you're bound here to something else. Maybe with the 8 of Swords here, our fears and our worries are what's guiding our actions. And so instead of focusing on what it is that you do want, maybe this fucking partnership, you're more focused on the fear and worries that this person's going to hurt me or leave me powerless, or they're going to take everything from me and I won't have anything to help myself or help other people. And so I just want to say to you this week, no matter which way this one pans out for any of the categories, look at the ways that you're holding yourself back. How is fear and worry putting like a barricade up around you and stopping you from connecting with people and partnering up here in ways that are actually beneficial? So I want to say the major theme with this is actually really around work, because the Page of Wands is ambitions, hard work, messages coming in around those themes. And then again, the 3 of Coins is usually, with coins here, it's financial, but it's partnership. It's, working with others towards a goal. This is like sharing money and resources. And usually it has to do with business or family and home. And then with the 8 of Swords, this is just the mental with swords here. The mental stuff that we're doing with to ourselves. We're worried about conflict or bad news coming in or being powerless. And so we put up this barrier around us to keep us safe from these situations hurting and harming us. But it's actually literally holding you back from flourishing and making these connections around partnerships. They're going to be everything for you. So if this is around love, guess what? Same thing applies. Look at the ways that you're refusing partnerships or that you're self-sabotaging stuff here, or you're doing stuff so that you don't have to be in partnership, like real partnership. And so you only share like bits and pieces of yourself maybe instead of like the whole fucking picture. You won't let anybody in close enough to like really be close to you. What are you doing that for? Because it feels like with this card combo, all you want is connection and a partnership, companionship. So if you want those things and the fear and worry is what's stopping you, stop and look at what happened here. Go back to that time and space, heal that time and space so that you can free yourself to like be a part of these partnerships. This is around work and and work and career. Hello, same fucking thing coming in. But also too, there's a double part of this, and like, you're not going to be able to move forward with these things that are coming in, these offers that are coming in, because you either can't see them, you're terrified of them, or you're just saying no to everything because you don't want to repeat of something else that happened previously. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's not good. Like, I get it. Believe me, I get it. I understand. But like, we just got to choose better this time. Okay. That's all. We just got to tune in to the connection here. Am I scared to be connected to this person and work with them, because this doesn't feel right, or because I'm terrified an old situation is going to occur again and I don't trust myself? So there might be some element of that this week too, that you don't trust yourself to make a good decision. You don't trust yourself to choose a right partner here for you. And this might be for all categories for card pile number 3 too. But guys, here's the joy of it, is that you do. And listen, if you look at the 8 of Swords at any point, she could throw off, she could just whoop up with her arms. The ropes would totally fall off. She could rip off the little thing around her face. And there's an open space in front of her to run and frolic through the fucking seagrass. Through the swamp, essentially. So don't stagnate yourself. You are stopping yourself from powering up, from being self-empowered, from making the right choice again. And you guys, listen to me, card pile number 3, where you're going and what you got to do. You can no longer afford to play it safe, right? And so we're going to have to continually take risks in our life, whether this be around love or friendship or eating donuts or starting a business or whatever the fuck is going on here. You've got to continually take risks, and you've got to learn to tune in and fucking trust yourself, or you have no compass here. Okay? So I'm begging you, card pile number 3, tune in and look at the ways that you're shutting yourself down and shutting yourself off. And even though this is everything that you want, is partnership, companionship, look at the ways that you're stopping yourself from doing this. Face that crap, because with the 8 of Swords, it's self-inflicted at this point. It's not saying what didn't happen before wasn't totally atrocious and totally legit why you're doing what you're doing, but at this point, you're self-sabotaging and you're holding yourself back from partnerships that would literally launch you fucking forward. And I feel like for whatever part of your life in that you're in right now too, you need partnerships to move fucking forward. This is around health. Interesting. I'm so glad you asked. This is around health. I would say this more has to do around like the mental space and how like psychosomatic some of our issues are right now. Weird, right? But I think that your body's sending you messages that like, hey, we're self-sabotaging, or hey, this thing isn't, this isn't, something's off, or hey, this is right and this is awesome, but we're like not listening to the signs and signals. And or if there's something difficult going on mentally for us health-wise right now, it's going to be showing up in our fucking body. So maybe you've all of a sudden had a rash issue with like lower back issues or knee issues or leg issues. Guess what? You don't feel supported and you feel stuck where you are and you can't see a way forward. Maybe we're literally having headaches that are debilitating us. And so there's some kind of information that's coming through that we're not listening to and we're not paying attention to. We're actively trying to block it out so hard that we're fucking our shit up. And guys, it's not to say that like, look, sometimes stuff happens and our body talks to us, but when we're not listening, it turns into like real fucking health issues. So I'm not saying to anybody this week, like, you're not having real health issues. You are very much having real health issues. And it's because we're also on top of that, not listening to ourselves in some way, shape, or form. And it's starting to come out of our body and out of our system in ways that are unhealthy and hard because our body's trying to get our attention. Do you feel? So if we're also having health-wise any issues this week, we're like, where the fuck is this coming from? Go within. Go within, sweet summer child. And look at the shit that is going the fuck on. Are we too stressed? Is stuff from trauma coming the fuck back up? What the fuck is going on here? How do we sit down and face this thing so that we can work through this health issues, get our body back to good, and start to take care of ourselves mentally and physically? Maybe even remembering too that we heal here in a holistic way. And I'm not talking crunchy granola, unless that's your fucking thing, do that. I mean, like, I'm not only just healing my mental space, I'm healing my emotional space, my physical body, my spiritual self too. Holistic, everything works together and in unison as a fucking system. And I think maybe we recognize this week, card pile number 3, that like, when I'm not doing well mentally, the rest of my body fucking suffers. Interesting, right? Just very interesting. Pay attention, take notes, and start to do something different here to get yourself out of that space or to help yourself, and to recognize too, how am I holding myself back because I'm scared of something happening here again? No need to self-sabotage yourself. No need to shut yourself down. You fucking got this. This is about taking back your power, starting to hone in and listen to yourself around what the right partnerships are. That's how you take it back, okay? So no giving up here. Ain't nobody got time for that. And I know I said I love this card pile. I really fucking do, because I think this is so empowering. It's saying that the power's in your hands. The dagger is also in your hands too. So what are you going to do? You're going to stab yourself, or are you going to heal yourself? What are you going to do? It's your choice this week, boo. You got this. You fucking got this. Last thing I want to say with this too is with the 3 of Coins and the 8 of Swords, these themes are going to be really fucking prevalent between March and August. So look for these themes to really highlight March and August, or March through August. Sit down and face this shit. You guys fucking got it, okay? All right, you guys, I hope to God that fucking made sense. Any and all feedback helps me to grow. Middle fingers for yes. No, wait, middle fingers for no. Caw for yes. Fucking Mercury retrograde. I'm so done. All right, you guys, let me know how it was for you guys. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the joy. Thank you for the honor. And thank you most importantly for trusting me every week to pull your cards for you, to just do the pull of cards, just friendly reminders, the free weekly reading, and the messages of hope. I love you guys so much. If you need anything, get a hold of me. The shop should be opening back up tonight. So if you guys need readings, hop on in there, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.